guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're gonna be doing a massive book haul slash the first book haul I've ever done on this channel. So all in all, it's a very exciting day for us. Some of these books I bought myself, some were sent to me from authors or publishers, and we just have a lot to go through. I haven't unboxed all of them, so we'll get a little bit of an unboxing as well. Let me know down below if y'all like this type of video, and I will start setting aside all the books that I get in June and July and make another big video for y'all. Without further ado, let's hop into this thing. I think we're gonna start with the books I bought. I have a couple of book boxes that I subscribe to every month, so we're gonna start with book of the month. I got two in my box, so we ended up getting One Star Romance. I know absolutely nothing about this book at all, except it was a member's fave, and I wanted the add-on for this month. So the add-on that I got was The Love Haters by Katherine Center. I own all of Katherine Center's books through book of the month, so I needed them to match. I needed the spines to match, so we ended up getting this one. One Star Romance says, a struggling writer is forced to walk down the aisle at her best friend's wedding with the man who gave her book a very public 1-star rating in this fresh romantic comedy. Y'all know I love a rom-com. I also love books that involve writers, so this one kind of just seemed like an easy pick. And then The Love Hater says that it's a thin line between love and love hating. Katherine Center is an author whose books I love to read when I'm at the pool, on a boat, at the lake, at the beach, anything like that. She's my girl. She's like the epitome of summer for me, and we will be reading this one probably this month. I also subscribe to Aardvark's book club, and I got two books in my box this month as well. The first one is Julie Chan is Dead. I'm actually obsessed with the cover. I don't know anything about this except it's a thriller with a social media star as the main character. Oh, fake news, fake news. So Julie Chan has nothing. Her twin sister has everything except a pulse. That sounds crazy. And you already know I love going into my books blind, especially if it's a thriller, so I really don't need to know anything else. I am predicting this to be a 5 though. I know that's a bold stand, but I do think that that's gonna be a 5-star read. The other book I got from Aardvark is When the Wolf Comes Home by Nat Cassidy. This is a horror, and this is me stepping outside of my comfort zone. Hi, I'm Sav. I never read horror, but I got a horror book just in case. I got one just in case I wanna switch it up. I've heard this one is scary. Like literally shaking in my boots, scary. This one says an adrenaline-fueled pop horror thriller where the darkest fears can become a reality. That gave me nothing, but I am ready to be scared. I kind of want to do a 24-hour readathon where I only read horror books, or maybe just like a week where I read them. I don't know. I want to do something before Halloween. This is where we get a little crazy because I have 3 Eternal Ember monthly book boxes. Eternal Embers normally takes popular romance books and they just give them a really cute cover. An exclusive cover that I can't resist. So I have my boxes from March, April, and May. Starting with March, obviously, we have a lot of goodies. This one came with a hat, and I'm actually obsessed with this hat. It says Romance Reader, and it's brown, and it's super cutie. Like, are we kidding? I love that. Will this mess up my hair? Probably. Do I care? We'll see. Like, are we kidding? That is so cute. March is actually the reason I subscribed to Eternal Embers because they did a special edition box for Burnout and Playbook. And these are both by Rebecca Genshak, and I love these books. They are part of the Holland Brothers series, sport romances, interconnected standalones. They're on Kindle Unlimited, go binge. And I just love them so much. I am absolutely obsessed. Honestly, Playbook is one of my favorite fake dating stories ever. Highly, highly recommend. And then this one is like bad boy, good girl, motocross, gymnastics. And as I said, fake dating, and he's a professional football player. Fantastic. And then here's the back. And then here's the back for Playbook. I couldn't resist, now I'm subscribed. Moving on to April, we have, oh, it's stuck. Here's what I'm looking at. I'll show you that first before I try and get this unstuck. We have a cowboy boot bottle opener. That is actually so cute. And now for the books. I haven't read either of these, but I have heard pretty good things. I have Icebound and Homebound, both by Meredith Trapp. Here is Icebound, which is a hockey romance, I'm assuming, because there's some hockey equipment. Go sports, yay! And then Homebound, which is definitely Western, because look at that. We got some cowboy hats. And actually, I think this one's also hockey, because that looks like a hockey puck. The More You Know. I think these are on Kindle Unlimited as well. I do think I'll really enjoy these. And the covers are really cute. These are really cute, I cannot deny. Now for the May box. This one's a little different. This one has a slipcase. The others don't, so I'm assuming when they don't have a slipcase, that means that there's gonna be more in a series. Don't take my word on that, but I'm like 98% sure. And this one's by Katerina Mara. I've never read anything from her. I have not. These look pretty though. These are Mine for a Moment and Bittersweet Memories. I do like the slipcase. It says, you are entitled to me. I love you, serenity, with all I am, all I have. Okay, period. Oh, there's more on this side. You're the only woman who's ever made me smile when it feels like breathing is near impossible. If you've read these books, let me know down below. Also, let me know which one goes first because they're not numbered. They're not numbered at all. I'm assuming it's this one, but you know what? I've been wrong before and that would be unfortunate. In May, I found a Goodwill bookstore where they only sold books and then movies and TV shows. Yeah, I literally could have been in there for hours. Hours and hours, and I would have been happy as can be. I did get about 5 things. So first we got Circe by Madelyn Miller. I feel like everyone and their mother has read this book and I'm feeling a little left out. I'm feeling a bit excluded, so I'm gonna need to read this thing. Guys, biggest shocker of this video, I don't know anything about it, but I ended up getting it for $2.99. That is a steal. Oh, I forgot I got this one. This is The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes by Suzanne Collins. This is the Snow prequel in the Hunger Games series. When I first read this book, I read it on my iPad, and so I never got a final copy. And I'm doing a Hunger Games Explain the Plot video coming very, very soon, guys. Trust me on that one. And I wanted to have a finished copy of this one. So when I found it, brand spanking new, I had to get it. And I got it for $5.99. And it's originally $27.99. Yes, yes, please. This is where I got a little silly and I got a little nostalgic. I went into the kids' room because I've been trying to collect some of the books that I loved when I was younger because I either want to do a video where I'm reading my childhood favorites or I just want to read them in general. And I got a few things. So I found 2 books in the Click series. I found the second book, which is Best Friends Forever. I don't know what number book this is, but I remember reading this one. This one is The Pretty Committee Strikes Back. And I loved this series. With everything in me, I loved it. And let me tell you, if you were a Click girly growing up, I bet you're a Magnolia Parks girly now. The Click series is literally the pipeline to the Magnolia Parks universe. Mark my words. I loved it. I think I read this series like 10 times when I was younger. The last book I got at the store was The Thief Lord by Cornelia Funk. This is the author of Inkheart. I prefer this book to Inkheart and I stand by that. This is like Six of Crows before Six of Crows was a thing. I remember in 5th grade, I did a whole project on this book. I loved it and I haven't read it since. Oh my gosh, I just know it'll be so good to read again. I'm pretty sure it's a movie, but I remember hating the movie. Speaking of this author, I do also want to get a copy of Inkheart because that is another one of my soul books. This author honestly really ate. If you've heard of this book, let me know down below, please and thank you, and let me know I'm not the only one that read this one as a kid. And then the last 3 books that I bought for myself, I got on release day. The first one is The Romance Rivalry by Susan Lee. I loved this book. It was so cute. Look at that cover. Does that not just seem like it would be the cutest book ever? Because it was and it is, and y'all need to read it. Y'all are really sleeping on this one. In this book, we're following a very, very famous bookish content creator, like literally has 1 million followers on one of her platforms. She is heading into her freshman year of college, and she kind of feels like a phony in the romance world because she is out here recommending romance books or criticizing romance books, and she's never been in love. So she's like, am I even correct or valid in any of my critiques when I'm talking about love if I've never had a relationship? So one of her goals in college is to fall in love before the end of the year. Let me add an extra layer into this story because, as I said, she's a bookish content creator and she has a rival on the internet. Every single time she reviews a book, there's this other bookish content creator who literally will say the exact opposite of her. And it has gotten to the point where she's like, you are my rival. I cannot stand you. Even though this guy has no clue that this is how she's feeling, she has it convinced that they are like mortal enemies. As I said, our main female character is starting her freshman year of college, and when she goes to one of her first classes, she sees this guy who she immediately is like, why do I know you? Like, this is really weird. I recognize you from somewhere. I don't understand. That's my rival. Holy crap, my rival is a freshman at the same college as me. He immediately clocks her. He goes up to her. He doesn't really realize that they're rivals, as she would put it. And when he learns that she has a plan to fall in love before the end of the year, he's like, you know what if we make this a competition? Let's see who can fall in love first by the end of the year, only using book tropes. This book was so fun. If you like Jenny Han, Lynn Painter, or K.L. Walther, I think you will really enjoy this one. Obviously, I had to get my copy of Rewind It Back by Liz Tom 40. I have also read this one and I gave this book 5 stars. This was one of my 5-star reads of May. I love a second chance romance, and Liz Tom 40 delivered on that. We have dual POVs and dual timeline, and I was just obsessed. You'll hear more about this in my May wrap up though. I also got The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillick. I've not read this one yet. I keep putting it off because I've heard that the cliffhanger will just leave me in shambles, but I've also heard it's fantastic, so I do need to read it. But look at that cover. We love. Rachel Gillick is an auto-buy author for me just because of the Shepherd King duology. If y'all have not read that, go run and read it, and then maybe we can do The Night and the Moth together. They're not connected in any way, shape, or form, but I do think you should read the Shepherd King duology first just because it's fantastic and it deserves more love. Now let's talk about some books that were sent to me, and I just want to say a huge thank you to all the authors and publishers that sent me these books. I am so incredibly grateful and I cannot wait to get to all of these. So up first we have Bloom Books, The Last Second Chance by Lucy Score. This is one of the books in the Bloom Moon series. I'm very excited to get to it. I love Lucy Score. I love a small town. Seems like something I will absolutely adore. They also sent me Cash by Jessica Peterson. I love a cowboy romance, and I'm assuming this is also going to be in a small town. Sounds like it's right up my alley. And now let's look at the book that had my jaw on the floor when I opened this package. Releasing 10 by Chloe Walsh. Bloom sent me the ARC, and I can't believe I own this. That's honestly one of the coolest packages I've ever received. I absolutely love this series, and I'm terrified to start this book. I've heard so many people say that they were just sobbing their eyes out. I need to pick the right time in my life to actually start this book, but I do need to start it soon because I keep avoiding the internet, so I'm not spoiled. Next couple of books are all from Berkeley. They sent me Broken Souls and Bones by L.J. Andrews. This is a romantasy, and it says, together they'll restore a divided kingdom or burn it down. Yes. I received Eliza and the Duke by Harper St. George. This is a historical romance, and I love a good historical romance, like the Bridgerton series by Julia Quinn or the Duke and I series by Tessa Dare. So I'm hoping maybe Harper St. George will become an auto-buy author for me within this genre. Oh, and it says this one is a marriage convenience. So American heiress Eliza Dove was resigned to a polite marriage convenience until she spent one wicked night with the Duke. Yes. Write With Me by Simone Saltani. This is the sequel to Cross the Line, which I really enjoyed last year, except this one is a marriage convenience story with an F1 racer. Y'all know I love a sports romance, and also this one definitely takes place in Vegas because I'll zoom in on the cover right there. Look at that. You can see Vegas right there, and it says Love's a Gamble. Finders Keepers by Sarah Adler. I read Happy Medium by Sarah Adler last year, and I was obsessed with her writing style, and so I can't wait to see how this one's gonna end up going, and I think this one's a second chance. Like, genuinely, that is one of my favorite tropes to ever exist. And the tagline says, you can't find treasure without digging up the past. So I'm assuming they're going on a treasure hunt. Never Been Shipped by Alicia Thompson. This one says, a band reunion may be enough to change two musicians' tune on love in this electric romance. I'm intrigued to see how this one's gonna go for me. Normally when a musician or like a singer-songwriter is involved, it's kind of 50-50, but I do always try them out, so we'll have to see. So we have Dutton Books, and they sent me 5, so let's go through them. First, we have How to Solve Your Own Murder by Kristyn Perrin, and they also sent me the sequel, which is How to Seal Your Own Fate, and they sent me a bookmark. Look how fun that is. I also love the bookmarks that come with the tassel. They're classic, and they're classic for a reason. I've heard that these two are very similar to Knives Out, which is one of my favorite movie franchises, so I feel like I will very much enjoy these. They also sent me The Ones We Love by Anna Snoekstra. I'm definitely butchering that, so I'm gonna zoom in close so y'all can see that and go with your judgment, not mine. Tagline says, can they survive what's behind the padlocked door? I love thrillers like this. A psychological thriller where there's literally a door, a closet, an attic, a basement that's locked is my bread and butter within the thriller world. Yes, also I recently just watched Heretics. Maybe it'll give me similar vibes. Drastic change, we now have a romance from Dutton, and this is Storybook Endings by Moira McDonald. And it says, a witty and warm comedy of manners sparked by a note left between the pages of a book, leading to a romantic triangle, which none of the trio realizes they're in, and a cast of connections centered in a bookstore. Okay, so I don't love a love triangle, but this cover is really cute. I cannot deny it. It's also kind of reminding me a little bit of like You've Got Mail vibes, especially when it said like an unexpected, unlikely love triangle. I can see it, I can see it. And one of my favorite authors is blurbed on the back, Annabelle Monaghan. She said, it's an absolutely charming love letter to bookstores and the magic that happens inside them. Last book they sent me is A Language of Limbs by Dylan Hardcastle. I believe that this takes place in Australia in the 70s. And it is a breathtaking sliding doors, will they, won't they love story and a tender epic that explores the weight of a choice, the love of a community, and how joy is found even in the darkest corners. This is gonna be perfect for June. Immediately added to the June TBR. Ooh. The blurbs are really good on the back as well. Phantom Books sent me Ashleigh Flower's newest book. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all, I couldn't resist because look how fun that is. I was very intrigued when I saw this in the mail. As I said, they sent me The Missing Half by Ashleigh Flowers. I have already started it and I'm very excited to see where it's gonna end up going. We're following this girl whose sister was taken very mysteriously when they were younger. Several years have passed since then and she meets another girl who says that her sister disappeared the same exact way as our main female characters did. And these two characters are trying to work together to solve the case of their missing sisters. They also sent me a mug. And guys, like, this mug is actually very good quality, not gonna lie. They sent me some stickers along with a hat. Y'all know I love a hat. Also, subtly bookish, you would have no clue that this is connected to a book at all. But it does say The Missing Half on the back. St. Martin's Press sent me The Summer You Were Mine by Jill Francis. This also seems like the perfect beach read. Or I'm lounging by the pool. This is what I'm gonna pick up. The tagline says, can your greatest regret become your greatest romance? Fantastic tagline, might I say. Celadon Books sent me Friends with Benefits by Marissa Cantor. This is a marriage convenience story between two lifelong best friends. One has always been in love with the other, and the other does not believe in love at all. I will love this. Marriage convenience is a top tier trope for me, and I will eat this up. William Morrow actually sent me one of my most anticipated reads of the year, and this is I Did Warn Her by Sean Gilbert. Sean Gilbert's the author of She Started It. I read that one about 2 years ago. Loved it. That book was like Pretty Little Liars if Mona was the main character. It's also the perfect summer thriller. If you need a thriller to read in the summer, go pick up She Started It. This one is a luxurious yacht, a gorgeous crew with secrets and rivalries, and murder. I Did Warn Her is a cunning locked room mystery set on a billionaire's yacht. I've also been told that this one kind of gives White Lotus vibes. Grand Central Publishing sent me The Near Miss by Lily Joseph, and this one is Two Complete Strangers, One Accidental Love Story. I have no clue what that means, but I am intrigued. So Nick and Ren are meant to be, but Nick and Ren have never met. And now fate is about to change everything. Could true love just be a catastrophe away? I am intrigued by that. I am very curious about what the heck that means. And the last thing I received is a box from Grand Central Publishing. Again, I have already opened it, sorry. But we have some goodies that we need to go through. So they sent me a love song for Ricky Wilde by Tia Williams. I've heard Tia Williams is an amazing author, and I have not read a single book by her yet. A single book. I've heard 7 Days in June. Her other book is fantastic. So I'm gonna have to jump on the bandwagon. They also sent me an arc of fan favorite, and this one says, a smart pop culture spiked homage to modern love following one woman's plunge into the world of reality TV to win back the one that got away. Yes. One thing y'all might not know about me is I love reality TV. I am like a raccoon digging through trash for reality TV. They also sent me Cover Story by Celia Lasky. I really love this cover, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I really do. I'm gonna zoom in so y'all can see more of it. This one says, a hilarious, unforgettable love story about an extremely anxious publicist tasked with keeping an extremely gay starlet in the closet and ends up falling for her instead. Okay, wait. This one also takes place in 2005, so we're having the early 2000s vibe with it as well. I do feel like I will very much enjoy it, and it's already out. So this is an arc, but it already came out this year, so it says it came out March 25th. I didn't even mention, by the way, Fan Favorite comes out June 24th. The last book in this haul from Grand Central Publishing and just in general is August Lane by Regina Black. And this one is a Black country music star who lied about writing his only hit, risks his comeback to reunite with the woman he stole it from. A first love the lyrics won't let him forget. Okay, so we're having some musicians, but we're gonna intertwine a second chance. I love a second chance. If anything's gonna make me love a musician storyline, it would be a second chance. And this one comes out July 29th. Now, before we officially end this video, let's talk about the goodies that are in this box. So they sent me cold brew hibiscus iced tea. Guys, this one actually smells amazing. I haven't even opened it, but you can literally smell it through the container, and it smells really good. It kind of smells like a Teavana store if y'all have ever been in those, if they even still exist. They also sent the Practical Witches Love Spell Deck. So this is 100 spells for passion, romance, and desire. They also sent me some citrus matcha lip balm, and they sent me a bracelet which says Wild Thing. Again, a huge thank you to all the authors and publishers who sent me these books. I am so incredibly excited, and these were sent to me in exchange for an honest review, which y'all know I'm gonna be honest through and through. Y'all already know the drill. But I'm so grateful and I'm so excited. So just thank you so much. That's all I have for today's video. So thanks for hanging out, y'all. And again, if y'all want to see more of these, let me know down below and I will start putting my little pile together. But I love y'all and I'll see y'all soon.